We are the reverse flash. Chop, 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 chop. Godspeed, friends. Godspeed. Okay, now this is fun build. This is the evil flash. Oh man, I gotta love playing all these builds, dude. The Spiritborn is such a fantastic class, guys. It never stops to amaze me of how many builds there are that you can play. It's really freaking cool. This is toxic skin explosions, man. And it's exploding wild. Chop, chop. It's like explodes the entire screen with Noxus poison, a key passive. Rampant like crazy. We're looking at these explosions. It's also very hard to control. And I'm not really like that used to it yet. But look at how it's basically exploding the entire screen here. Chop, chop. And you can charge indefinitely, like you can't run out. And if you run out, you use the Hunter to replenish the charges with your ferocity stacks. This is a Rushing Claw rune. It's so much fun, man. And then here, there's the boss right there. And we just Rushing Claw and boom, he dead. So that's the Rushing Claw here. And we can reset all of our stuff when we use the Rushing Claw. You need a target though. So evade, you can evade pretty much without a target. For this one, you need a target and you Rushing Claw, like dash to all the targets. And there's a rune here that allows you to reset the Rushing Claw if you have ferocity stacks. And your Hunter is giving you these easy access to ferocity stacks. So you just blast basically with the Rushing Claw, completely crushing the enemies. And we use the toxic skin here in combination with the key passive Noxus Resonance to basically burst out all the poison damage that we do with our Rushing Claw and with our toxic skin, which is gonna burst poison out as critical strikes to nearby vulnerable enemies every second. Guaranteed crit, basically bursting this poison, which we then scale with our crit damage. And you can see here, current damage bonus, 13,000. And I don't even know if, you know, we have all the buffs right now, but like there is a lot of multiplier that you can get on this passive here. Like if you are stacking crit damage, again, with block, chance, and interdiction, you're stacking this and we're getting current damage bonus, 13,000 multiplicative damage here with Noxus Resonance. Having a great time. And that's pretty much the combination here. And we can also run Swift on our boots, which allows us to reset our Rushing Claw even further. We have 9 ranks in Swift, actually resetting it by 9 seconds. And if you're looking at Rushing Claw baseline, it's a 9-second cooldown, and we're resetting it by 9 seconds. And even if we don't, then we can still use our ferocity stacks to reset instantly. And we can basically permanently teleport. It's not as crazy as evade because you do need a target. But this is basically the reverse flash build. I'm going to have the planner linked below here. Again, this build is not like fully optimized yet, but it already is pretty cool. And we're also using the Wound Drinker ring here, which basically gives us additional ranks to toxic skin. And you can see once we hover the toxic skin, this is basically how we apply the main poison. It actually does 1.6 million or 5 million poison damage here already, and 1,600% weapon damage over 17 seconds, which we can then burst out in 1 second with the Noxus Resonance and critting. So you definitely want to have a ton of cooldown for your toxic skin. That's why on the other ring here we're running the Incarnate cooldown reduction, which basically lowers the cooldown of our toxic skin, and we can basically just keep spamming it, and you see the uptime is way higher than the cooldown. So we can basically have this permanently up. So a ton of fun. So you're spamming your Revenger, you're spamming your Armor Tide, you're spamming your Scourge, which is also moving with us using Menace, and then you're using the Hunter just to jump over walls and stuff. You can also use Devourer. However, I always prefer Hunter. It's just better. Just gives you more damage and everything. And yeah, you can basically completely crush this content here. So we're rocking Harlequin's Crest with Soul Sick. This one is gonna trigger our unyielding hits. So I don't even have max armor right now. Again, I don't have GAs. I have my Storm Feather evade gear. And you can easily do 60-second 100 runs with this as well once it's optimized, like once you have the armor cap and everything. I'm just going to show you my setup here. And then the best in slot, again, is going to be in the description with the planner here. So then we're rocking Shroud of False Death. We're rocking unyielding hits here. Scourge Sight's pretty cool. And you see here, we're stacking the crit damage. Like you want all this crit damage for your Noxus here to go pretty crazy. And get all those juicy multipliers. And again, it's doubled. Like when you're actually being attacked, and this thing will be doubled. So let me actually head over to the target dummies here, and then I'll show you. Because if you get attacked, then you are actively blocking, which is essentially doubling your crit damage yet again. So you might have seen these screenshots where we actually reached like 100,000 crit damage. And this one is pretty much no exception here, once you get everything right. So let me just go to the dummies here, and I'll show this to you. It goes pretty ham. And yeah, on the weapon, we're using the interdicted redirected force again. And I got pretty lucky here. I got 12 to Ravenous. And this one gives me a crazy multiplier here for the Ravenous Centipede skills. It's 40x. And basically 40% X and double the bonus against healthy enemies. So then it gets even higher. So if we have this guy, let's go multiple, let's go boss, and let him attack us, like for a second here with physical. So they'll attack us. And then we can look at this bonus again down here. And yeah, now it's gonna say, actually I need to... We need to activate our W. And now it's gonna say 28,000, yes? So it gets pretty wild. Like there is a lot of crit damage bonus here that we can get with all these various things we have. And we can get like a pretty crazy multiplier here for all of our damage using this poison burst strategy. So you want to stack in crit damage, and for that we have interdiction on the amulet. Again, my amulet still has Stormfeather potency. Like you'd actually want more incarnate cooldown. Again, you can min-max this a lot. The planner is below, or crit damage actually. Like you can just get base crit damage everywhere, and get some pretty crazy multipliers. Then we have apprehension on the boots here. Again, toxic skin, very important. I think you want an ideally triple crit toxic skin on Wound Drinker, and here as well. Like I have a new one here that I might roll. Like the secondary is not too important. You just want to have the toxic skin. And you can masterwork this to +8, and you can masterwork this one here to +7. So you can get a ton of ranks in toxic skin in the end, in the final version. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. Spirit Hall, we're rocking Jaguar and Gorilla. You can also play Gorilla. Then you don't have to play with the Sig Rune, and you can play Extra Life with Xol. However, I like the Sig Rune better, and having Jaguar will also allow you to one-shot the boss like we just did. And it also allows you to do higher pits. I think this build is going to be very nice to like do 120, 130, things like that. So skill tree is looking like this. We just have points here because we don't have anything in core. And we need to unlock those sections. So unfortunately, I can't take them off because you just need them to unlock focus skills. So we have Apex maxed, Unrestrained Power maxed, Swift maxed, then we have Replenish Ravager. Now, I like Ravager because I play with the Jaguar Hall, but if you want to play Gorilla, you can take these 3 points off, take them into counterattack, and then see what happens here when we have this. It gets even crazier if we're looking at our key passive. So yeah, now we have like a 25.8. Whenever we have targets, I think I need to have it on the bar actually. Whenever we have targets closer to us, because this one gives us another 1.3x multiplier. However, I like Ravager because it just gives you additional Jaguar procs for the Hall on every attack. So that's pretty dope too. So let's see if we press our buttons here. And you see now we have 37, yes, or 36. Like it goes pretty wild. Like there's a lot of multipliers you can have. All right, but for now, I prefer Ravager again, more Jaguar procs. Okay, then we are putting 3 points in Apex, we are putting 3 points in Unrestrained Power, 3 points in Swift. Toxic Skin, obviously maxed with the Measured Toxic Skin rune. Then we have Armored Hide, we have Perseverance, we have still 1 in Auspicious. You don't necessarily need this. You can also put these points into Armored Hide depending on your barrier generation. Then we have Scourge with some healing. We have Anti-Venom, Nourishment, maxed here, more poison damage. 3 in Resilient, 3 in Potent, 3 in Furnace. If you choose to go with the Gorilla version, you switch out 3 Furnace to 3 Dominant. However, I have it like this. So we have Ravenous, we have Oppressive, we have Hunter, we have 3 in Resolution, 3 in Supremacy, and then we have the Noxus Resonance, giving us a ton of DPS here. Paragon board looks like this. We have the Bane Glyph, so this one gives us more poison damage, and Bane, as it gives us poison damage, which is non-physical, is also helping us to max out Convergence without using the Fulminate Glyph. So just use Bane, and you're gonna max out your Convergence Legendary node instantly. Then we have Sapping, we have Spirit, and Spirit gives us a ton of crit. And then we have Exploit, this one gives us Vulnerable instantly. Very strong, very good. We have all the barrier nodes, we have Viscous Shield, and then we have Convergence. And here we have Fitness, and this one just helps us, giving us even more crit damage. You see, we get 370 crit damage from this, and we get 500 crit damage from this. So pretty crazy crit damage overall. And then we're rocking Colossal here. Obviously, you don't need to populate this fully, because right now our skills are not Gorilla skills. But again, if you like Gorilla, you can also switch out Jaguar for Gorilla and have a good time with that as well. And then finally, we have the Revealing node here. And yeah, again, Colossal is just used for our Resolve stacks, giving us a crazy amount of damage. And yeah, that's pretty much the build, my friends. So if you do, and if you build everything right, let me disable these attacks. Like, you should be able to, and you can try this yourself, should be able to, like, pretty much just dash all the time, right? Like, you can just do this. And as long as there's monsters, you should be able to dash without stopping. But you do need a target, like, right? I can't dash like down here. You see my cursor? And it's auto aiming, right? Like, if I have my cursor down here and I dash, if I'm just somewhat close to the enemies, like, I'm already dashing on the enemies. See, I can have my cursor down here, it's still gonna dash, like, on the enemies, basically. This is like the built-in auto aim that most of the Spiritborn skills have, even on the PC version. So it is pretty busted. And yeah, you're just permanently dashing, and you're just permanently triggering everything. And your dash is also gonna trigger your Yal rune here. Casting a skill with a cooldown 6 times is then gonna trigger your Earthen Bulwark, which is gonna give you, you know, the barrier stuff. See here, boom, max barrier. And yeah, when you have the barrier going, then obviously you're gonna also get a damage bonus, and you're also gonna trigger your Soul rune, which then triggers your Concussive Stomp, which again can also be used if you like to have, you know, more armor. If you don't have enough barrier, more barrier. If you don't have enough barrier generation, you can use the enhanced Concussive Stomp, or you use Auspicious, depending on which one you like better. But again, guys, I have this. We call it the reverse flash. It's actually not green. I think it's a yellow flash, which is also a good reference to Naruto and Naruto's father. So call it whatever you want, guys. But this is like a toxic build that is at least aspiring to maybe become somewhat close to the speed of the flash build. I think we're on a pretty good way here, and obviously there's a ton more stuff to be optimized of this build. But yeah, let me know what you think, and yeah, if you don't like evade, or you don't want to like spam evade all the time, in here it's much easier. You can basically just hold down the button. You don't need to spam it. Rushing Claw, you just hold it down and it'll work. It'll recast all the time. And hopefully at some point we're also gonna get the same treatment for evade. But for now, just hold down Rushing Claw and have a great time with this Rushing Claw Toxic Skin build. Let's go, GG. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.